Ladies and gentlemen, New York City is a place where history is written in steel, stone, and glass. Its skyline tells a story of ambition, innovation, and cultural transformation. Today, let us take a journey through time and explore the remarkable history of architecture in this ever-evolving metropolis. Our story begins in the 17th century, when the Dutch first settled in what was then called New Amsterdam. Early buildings were modest, made of wood and brick, reflecting European influences. As the city grew under British rule, Georgian-style homes and federal-style buildings began to take shape, adding elegance and symmetry to the streets. By the 19th century, New York experienced rapid expansion. The streets of Manhattan filled with brownstones, adorned with stoops and iron railings. The cast-iron district of Soho emerged, showcasing beautifully detailed facades that remain a symbol of the era. At the same time, grand public buildings embraced Beaux-Arts architecture, with intricate ornamentation and classical columns defining the city's cultural institutions. Then came the Revolution, the birth of the skyscraper. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, advancements in steel frame construction changed the city's skyline forever. Landmarks such as the Flatiron Building and the Woolworth Building soared above the streets, proving that New York was a city determined to reach new heights. In the 1920s and 1930s, the golden age of Art Deco left an indelible mark. The Chrysler Building, with its shimmering spire, and the Empire State Building, a symbol of resilience and progress, became icons of modern architecture. The intricate designs and bold geometric forms reflected a city full of energy, optimism, and style. As the decades passed, New York embraced modernism. The sleek, glass and steel skyscrapers of the mid-20th century reshaped the skyline, with architects like Ludwig Mies van der Rohe and Philip Johnson leaving their mark. Later, the postmodern movement added playful and bold designs, challenging the rigid lines of modernism with new creative forms. Today, New York continues to evolve, embracing sustainability and futuristic design. The rise of super-tall towers, such as One World Trade Center, and eco-friendly developments highlight the city's commitment to innovation. Meanwhile, the preservation of historic landmarks ensures that the past remains a vital part of the present. From colonial homes to towering glass marvels, New York's architecture is a testament to human creativity and resilience. It is a city that never stops building, never stops dreaming, and never stops inspiring. The story of New York's architecture begins in the early 1600s when the Dutch established a settlement called New Amsterdam. The structures of this period were practical and influenced by Dutch building traditions. Houses were typically made of wood with steep gable roofs covered in thatch or tiles. The streets were narrow and irregular, reflecting the organic growth of the settlement rather than any formal city planning. When the British took control of the colony in 1664 and renamed it New York, English architectural styles began to emerge. Georgian architecture, characterized by symmetry, brick facades, and sash windows, became prominent. Buildings such as Frances Tavern, built in 1719 and still standing today, showcase this era's influence. Federal-style buildings followed in the late 18th century, featuring elegant proportions, decorative moldings, and refined brickwork. During this period, New York was still a relatively small city, with most structures being 2 or 3 stories high. However, as trade and commerce flourished, the city's built environment began expanding rapidly. The 19th century was a period of rapid expansion, fueled by industrialization and population growth. New York evolved from a colonial port town into a major economic and cultural hub. This period saw the rise of several distinct architectural styles. One of the most recognizable features of 19th century New York is the brownstone townhouse. These row houses, built primarily in Brooklyn and Manhattan, were constructed with brown sandstone quarried from Connecticut. They typically featured a raised stoop, arched doorways, decorative cornices, and tall windows. Brownstones housed the growing middle and upper middle classes, offering a blend of elegance and affordability, and areas like Soho, an innovative new construction method emerged, cast iron facades. This technique allowed for rapid, cost-effective construction and intricate decorative details. Buildings like the Hallwart Building, built in 1857, showcased elaborate cornices, columns, and window frames, all made of prefabricated cast iron. These structures became synonymous with the commercial prosperity of New York during the late 19th century. By the late 1800s, grand public buildings and private mansions embraced the Beaux-Arts style, influenced by classical European architecture. The design philosophy emphasized grandeur, symmetry, and ornamental details, with large stone facades, intricate sculptures, and impressive domes. Notable examples include Grand Central Terminal, 1913, a masterpiece of Beaux-Arts grandeur. The New York Public Library, 1895 to 1911, a symbol of knowledge and civic pride. Vanderbilt mansions and Fifth Avenue palaces, lavish homes of wealthy industrialists. This period cemented New York's reputation as a city of ambition, wealth, and artistic refinement. As the 19th century gave way to the 20th, New York City revolutionized global architecture with the development of skyscrapers. Several technological advancements made this possible. The invention of steel frame construction, which allowed buildings to rise taller than ever before. The development of the safety elevator by Elisha Otis in 1852, making high-rise living and working practical. The first wave of skyscrapers, built in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, defined the city's iconic skyline. Notable examples include the Flatiron Building, 1902, a triangular 22-story structure, one of New York's first steel-framed skyscrapers. The Woolworth Building, 1913. At 792 feet, it was the tallest building in the world when completed, featuring neo-Gothic detailing. These early skyscrapers set the foundation for a vertical city, showcasing both function and artistry in their designs. The 1920s and 1930s marked one of the most visually striking periods in New York's architectural history, the rise of Art Deco skyscrapers. This style, influenced by modernity, speed, and luxury, was characterized by geometric patterns, bold ornamentation, and the use of materials such as stainless steel, terracotta, and aluminum. Two of the most famous buildings from this era define New York's skyline. The Chrysler Building, 1930, 1,046 feet, known for its gleaming metal spire and intricate sunburst motifs. The Empire State Building, 1931, 1,454 feet, a symbol of ambition, becoming the world's tallest building upon completion. Art Deco brought a new level of sophistication to architecture, reflecting the energy of the Roaring '20s and the resilience of the Great Depression. By the mid-20th century, modernism took over, rejecting excessive ornamentation in favor of sleek, functional designs. Glass and steel skyscrapers became the new standard, emphasizing simplicity and efficiency. Famous examples include the Seagram Building, 1958, Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, a minimalist glass and bronze tower that set the standard for corporate skyscrapers. The United Nations Headquarters, 1952, Le Corbusier and Oscar Niemeyer, a symbol of internationalism with a modernist aesthetic. By the late 20th century, postmodernism emerged as a reaction to the rigidness of modernism. It reintroduced playfulness, historical references, and unique shapes. Notable examples: the AT&T Building, 1984, Philip Johnson, featuring a distinctive Chippendale top. The Lipstick Building, 1986, a cylindrical skyscraper breaking from conventional boxy designs. New York's architectural evolution continues with cutting-edge designs focused on sustainability and engineering feats. The key trends of the 21st century includes advances in materials and engineering have allowed for increasingly tall and slender towers. One World Trade Center, 2014, 1,776 feet, a powerful symbol of resilience and modern design. 432 Park Avenue, 2015, 1,396 feet, one of the first ultra-thin residential towers. The Steinway Tower, 2022, 1,428 feet, the world's thinnest skyscraper. Environmental concerns have led to the development of eco-friendly buildings. The Hearst Tower, 2006, a LEED-certified skyscraper with innovative energy-efficient features. The Edge at Hudson Yards, 2019, a futuristic neighborhood incorporating green design principles. As the city moves forward, its architecture continues to push boundaries while preserving its rich heritage. As we stand amidst the towering skyscrapers, historic landmarks, and ever-evolving streets of New York City, we are reminded that architecture is more than just bricks, steel, and glass. It is a living testament to the city's journey through time. Each building tells a story of ambition, resilience, and creativity, reflecting the dreams of those who built them and the spirit of those who call this city home. From the humble colonial homes of the past to the soaring super talls of today, New York has never stopped reaching for the sky. It is a city that reinvents itself with every generation, balancing innovation with preservation, progress with tradition. As we look toward the future, one thing remains certain. The architecture of New York will continue to inspire, captivate, and define what it means to dream big.